Welcome to 10 Things You Didn't Know About the Green Bay Packers. From frozen tundras to Super Bowl triumphs, this team is more than just a football club. It's an American institution. Today we're unveiling secrets and facts that even the most dedicated cheesehead might not know. Stick around until the end. You won't want to miss the number one fact that will blow your mind. Number 10. Who needs an owner? The Packers are community-owned, a fact that many fans already know. But dig a little deeper and you'll find nuggets like the legal stipulation that if the team is ever sold, all profits after expenses would go to the American Legion. This ensures the team's everlasting bond with the community. Not just that, there's a cap of 200,000 shares that any single entity can own. This unique stipulation ensures that no one person can ever gain control of this storied franchise. It's a rule designed to keep the power within the community, making each shareholder a true part of the team's long and rich history, and ensuring that the Packers remain a team of the people, by the people, for the people. Number 9. G doesn't stand for Green Bay. Most people think the G in the Packers logo stands for Green Bay. Makes sense, right? But here's a curveball. The G was actually designed to stand for greatness, according to the logo's designer, Gerald Brashear, who was an equipment manager for the team. And get this, the logo was adopted in 1961, but it wasn't patented until 1964, giving other teams a window to snatch it up, but none did. When it comes to the iconic colors green and gold, the hues were carefully selected by none other than the legendary Vince Lombardi. That's right, the man synonymous with greatness also had a hand in shaping the team's visual identity. Even more, the colors used by the Packers are unique and have officially been dubbed dark green and cheese gold, setting them apart from any other team's shades of green and gold. Number 8. Hatred with benefits. Sure, you've heard the Packers and the Bears have the longest-running rivalry in the NFL, dating back to 1921. But did you know that George Halas, the founder of the Bears, actually helped to keep the Packers in Green Bay? That's right. In the 1950s, the Packers were strapped for cash, and Halas drove up interest in a stock sale that ultimately helped keep the team afloat. As of this video, the Packers lead the series with 105 wins to the Bears' 95, with 6 ties thrown in for good measure. The first ever ejection in this historic rivalry took place in 1924, when Walter Wally Kiesling of the Packers was thrown out for unnecessary roughness. It's not just about wins and losses. This rivalry has layers, from financial help to on-field ejections that make every game a must-watch event. Number 7. Lombardi, Man of Mancha. Everyone knows Vince Lombardi as the hard-nosed, win-at-all-cost coach who led the Packers to numerous championships. But how about this? Vince Lombardi was also a high school chemistry and physics teacher before diving headlong into football. The man who taught the Packers the chemistry of winning first taught kids the elements of the periodic table. Lombardi wasn't just a fan of any Broadway musicals. He was particularly inspired by Man of Mancha, a musical based on the character Don Quixote. He didn't just enjoy the show, he used its themes of idealism and dreaming the impossible to motivate his players. It's reported that he had a collection of Broadway soundtracks and would often play them during quiet moments. Number 6. Someone needs to thaw out the refs. On December 31, 1967, the Packers faced off against the Dallas Cowboys in a game that would later be dubbed the Ice Bowl. The temperature at kickoff was a bone-chilling minus 13 degrees Fahrenheit, with a wind chill of minus 36 degrees. It remains the coldest NFL game ever played, and the game had to be finished under these extreme conditions. There was no postponing allowed. But here's a twist. The turf heating system malfunctioned because of the cold, making the field as hard as concrete. Players had to adjust their cleats just to get traction. Referees couldn't even use their whistles. They froze to their lips. Instead, they had to shout and use hand signals to officiate the game. This wasn't just a test for the players, but everyone involved in the game. Number 5. Who cut the cheese? Originally, the term cheesehead was a derogatory nickname aimed at Wisconsinites by Illinoisans, particularly during Packers-Bears matchups. The name originated as a stab at Wisconsin's well-known dairy industry. Instead of taking offense, Wisconsinites flipped the script. Over time, Packers fans embraced the name, proudly identifying as Cheeseheads and converting an insult into a cherished badge of honor. The famous foam cheesehead hat was invented in 1987 by Ralph Bruno. He crafted the first one out of his mom's couch cushion, carving the holes with a turkey carver. The rest, as they say, is history. Today, it's nearly impossible to attend a Packers game without seeing a sea of this iconic foam headgear. Number 4. Haunting Lambo. Now, it's said that the most dedicated fans are die-hard, but Packers fans take it to the next level, literally. Fans of the green and gold can purchase actual burial plots in a cemetery right next to Lambeau Field. That's right, the aptly named Green Bay Packers Memorial Park offers fans a chance to rest in peace near the hallowed grounds of Lambeau. Imagine being so devoted to your team that you want to be neighbors for all eternity. Now that's commitment you can't put a price tag on. Or can you? Plots start at a surprisingly reasonable rate. Number 3. 13's a charm. When it comes to NFL championships, no one does it better than the Packers. You heard it right. 13 championships, the most in NFL history. And we're not just talking Super Bowls. This includes titles from before the Super Bowl era, too. This outstanding achievement set the Packers apart from any other team in the league, cementing their status as the epitome of football excellence. The team's first championship was way back in 1929. Led by Curly Lambeau, they secured the title with a 12-0-1 record. Fast forward to 2010, and they were still collecting hardware, winning Super Bowl 45 under the helm of Mike McCarthy. That's nearly a century of winning tradition, a legacy that's unequaled in professional football. Number 2. Training wheels. A bike ride to practice? Only in Green Bay. The tradition of Packers players riding fans' bikes during training camp dates back to the 1960s. This simple yet heartwarming act connects players and fans in a unique way, bridging the gap between the field and the stands. In fact, it's become such an iconic part of the Packers culture that fans arrive early just to offer their bikes to players. Here's a fun fact you might not know. This tradition also serves a practical purpose for players. According to former player Donald Driver, riding bikes helps players loosen up their leg muscles for grueling practices. So it's not just a fan spectacle, it's a physical warm-up too. Number 1. Below Lambeau. You've heard about the legendary Cheesehead and the Ice Bowl, but have you heard about the secret tunnel under Lambeau Field? That's right, beneath the gridiron where legends have been made, there lies a secret tunnel used for game operations. The underground tunnel links the Packers' locker room with their practice facility, allowing players to move in privacy and escape Wisconsin's harsh winter elements. Built in the 1960s, this tunnel isn't just functional, it's steeped in history too. Imagine the countless conversations, game plans, and pep talks that have echoed through that hidden passage over the years. We've journeyed through time, legend, and even underground tunnels to discover the Green Bay Packers like never before. From nonprofit ownership to frozen tundra battles, from biking to practice to clandestine corridors beneath Lambeau. These are the stories that make the green and gold more than just a football team. They're a living legacy, a piece of American history. Now, Cheeseheads, we need you to do a Lambeau leap of your own. Right onto that like button. Then go long and hit subscribe. And don't forget to toss this video to your fellow Packers fanatics. Let's make this the ultimate Packers fan zone. That's it for today, Cheeseheads, but we'll be back just like the Pack every fall. Until then, stay green, stay gold, and go Pack go!